The arena was buzzing with excitement, fans cheering for their favorite superstars, unaware that history was about to be rewritten in the most shocking way. Tonight, the WWE Universe witnessed chaos like never before as Brock Lesnar stormed the ring, completely altering the energy in the arena. No one saw it coming. There were no rumors circulating, no announcements teased, just the pure, unfiltered impact of a legendary return. The lights flickered briefly, adding an eerie tension to the atmosphere, and then, without warning, the crowd erupted into a frenzy. Every eye in the arena turned to the entrance ramp, some in disbelief, some in sheer terror, as the unmistakable silhouette of the beast emerged. Commentators were left speechless, their voices trembling as they tried to capture the magnitude of what was unfolding. "Ladies and gentlemen, Brock Lesnar. He is back," one of them finally managed to scream. But even that did not convey the chaos that had consumed the arena. Fans were on their feet, some holding their phones to capture the historic moment, others covering their mouths in shock. The arena had become a living entity, reacting as one massive, unified organism to the unprecedented arrival of the beast. Backstage, WWE officials were in complete disarray. Producers scrambled to coordinate the live feed, security personnel rushed towards the entrance, and referees exchanged frantic whispers, trying to understand who was at risk and how to contain the situation. But Brock Lesnar was untouchable, moving with the lethal precision and unstoppable force that had earned him his fearsome reputation. The sheer unpredictability of his attack had already set the tone for the night, sending shockwaves through every member of the roster, from seasoned veterans to up-and-coming talent. As Lesnar reached the ring, the superstar who had been mid-match could barely react. In a blur of raw power, Brock unleashed a devastating F5, lifting his opponent high into the air before slamming them down with a force that shook the very floorboards. The crowd screamed in disbelief, their excitement mingled with fear as the commentary team shouted over each other, trying to describe what was essentially indescribable. This was not just a return, it was a statement, a violent proclamation that Brock Lesnar had not only come back but had arrived with a clear mission: chaos, destruction, and domination. Every camera angle captured the magnitude of the moment, the shocked faces of fans, the scattered referees, the stunned announcers, and Brock Lesnar, standing tall in the center of the ring, surveying the damage with a cold, calculated stare. It was a reminder of why he was called the Beast, why his returns were considered some of the most electrifying moments in WWE history. Tonight marked the beginning of a new chapter, one that would have the entire WWE Universe questioning what would come next, and which superstars would be brave or foolish enough to confront the returning legend. The atmosphere inside the arena was electric, yet chaotic. Fans were screaming, cameras were flashing, and every member of the WWE roster seemed frozen in disbelief. Brock Lesnar didn't just enter the ring, he dominated it from the very first second. The superstar he targeted had barely registered his presence when the beast pounced with a ferocity that left everyone gasping. The first F5 landed with a thunderous impact, sending shockwaves through the ring and a collective shudder across the audience. The announcers' voices rose to a crescendo, barely able to contain their excitement and terror as they described the devastation unfolding live. Security personnel rushed forward, but even they seemed powerless against Lesnar's raw power. Every move was calculated yet unpredictable, a perfect storm of aggression and skill. He grabbed his second opponent, hoisted him high into the air, and slammed him down with a force that left the ring trembling. Fans jumped to their feet, some screaming in delight, others in horror, unable to look away from the carnage. The arena felt alive, responding to every brutal maneuver with a roar that echoed from the rafters down to the front row. The WWE Universe had never witnessed anything quite like this, a return that was not ceremonial, not scripted, but pure, unrestrained chaos. Backstage, the panic was escalating. Officials were making frantic calls, attempting to track every camera angle and coordinate safety measures. while the commentary team struggled to maintain coherent narration. "This is insane," one announcer shouted, barely able to believe his own words. Producers and security were desperately trying to restore order, but the reality was stark. Brock Lesnar was in complete control. The message was clear to every wrestler in the arena tonight. The Beast was the law, and no one could challenge him. Every slam, every strike, and every roar only reinforced the fear and respect his presence commanded. In the ring, Lesnar moved with precision, targeting high-profile superstars in quick succession. The crowd's reaction was a mix of awe and terror, as they realized that this was not a one-time spectacle, but a full-scale announcement of dominance. Each F5, each slam, each explosive move told a story. The Beast had returned to claim what was his, to remind the WWE Universe of his unparalleled power, and to strike fear into anyone foolish enough to stand in his path. The energy in the arena was palpable, almost tangible, as fans chanted his name and cameras captured every breathtaking angle of destruction. Even as chaos reigned inside the ring, the broadcast captured subtle moments that amplified the drama. Referees were ducking, superstars were retreating, and commentary boxes were filled with disbelief. The suddenness of Brock Lesnar's return, the intensity of his attack, and the magnitude of the reactions created an atmosphere that transcended a typical WWE event. Every second was a reminder of why the Beast's name sent shivers down the spines of fans and wrestlers alike. As the dust settled slightly and Brock stood victorious amid the wreckage, one thing was unmistakable. The WWE Universe had just witnessed a historic moment that would be talked about for years. While the WWE Universe inside the arena was still reeling from Brock Lesnar's shocking return, backstage the situation had escalated into complete pandemonium. Security personnel were on high alert, officials were shouting orders, and production teams were scrambling to maintain any semblance of order. Phones were ringing off the hook as top WWE management tried to coordinate emergency measures. But the reality was clear. The Beast had taken full control, and no one knew what he might do next. Every wrestler watching the chaos unfold felt a chill run down their spine. Even the most seasoned veterans were visibly shaken. Superstars who had faced Lesnar in the past were exchanging glances, silently acknowledging the danger they now faced. Some were pacing nervously, rehearsing moves in their minds, while others stared at monitors, trying to predict his next target. The atmosphere backstage was thick with tension and fear, the kind that only a truly dominant force could inspire. Producers were coordinating camera cuts to ensure every moment of the attack was captured, knowing full well that WWE fans at home would be witnessing history. Analysts and commentators speculated live on air about the implications, with words like devastating, unpredictable, and apocalyptic being thrown around to describe Lesnar's performance. Meanwhile, the locker room itself was in chaos. Superstars were discussing strategies in hushed tones, knowing that facing the Beast would require more than skill. It would require courage, timing, and perhaps a bit of luck. Some wrestlers were confident they could take him on. Others were terrified, their faces pale as they contemplated the possibility of becoming the next victim of his wrath. Even legends in the WWE world expressed surprise at the audacity of Lesnar's attack. No one had anticipated such a sudden and ferocious return, and it was clear that the entire roster was now on edge. The commentary team continued to narrate the event with heightened urgency. "I've never seen anything like this in my career," one announcer said, voice trembling with excitement. "Brock Lesnar doesn't just return, he dominates. And tonight, every superstar watching knows it. The audience at home could feel the intensity of the situation, as live shots showed wrestlers grappling with the reality of a force that seemed unstoppable. Every slam, every roar, every moment of devastation in the ring had a ripple effect that was felt backstage as well. Fear, respect, and all mixed together to create an atmosphere charged with suspense. As the initial shock began to subside, discussions backstage shifted toward action plans. Who could confront Brock Lesnar? Who had the power, the stamina, and the strategy to even stand a chance? While some wrestlers volunteered, others hesitated, realizing that any misstep could lead to another brutal attack. In that moment, one undeniable truth became apparent. Brock Lesnar's return was not just a spectacle, it was a warning. A reminder that in the world of WWE, power and unpredictability ruled, and the Beast was once again at the apex of both. The fallout from Brock Lesnar's return wasn't confined to the arena or the backstage corridors. It spread like wildfire across the WWE Universe. Every top superstar, every rising talent, and every member of the commentary team realized that nothing would be the same again. Lesnar had returned not merely to make an appearance, but to assert dominance, reminding everyone why he was feared in and out of the ring. Fans were still chanting his name, some in admiration, others in anxious anticipation. As social media exploded with reactions, memes, and heated debates about the night's events. Inside the ring, the Beast continued his calculated chaos. Every move, every attack seemed strategically designed to instill fear and reinforce his supremacy. He targeted top-tier superstars, those who had dared to challenge him in the past or who were perceived as threats to his dominance. Each slam and each vicious F5 landed with an intensity that made even the most experienced wrestlers reconsider their next steps. The audience gasped collectively, unable to tear their eyes away from the spectacle. Cameras captured each angle, ensuring that every viewer at home felt as though they were in the front row, witnessing history unfold live. Backstage, speculation ran rampant. Who would confront Lesnar next? Could anyone stand up to him? The locker room was buzzing with discussions, strategic planning, and in some cases, sheer panic. Some superstars attempted to analyze his attack patterns, hoping to anticipate his next move, while others realized that the Beast's unpredictability was part of his terrifying power. Even those who had faced him before in high-stakes matches acknowledged that tonight was different. There was no storyline, no script, this was real chaos, and the entire roster had to react immediately or risk being his next victim. Fans watching from home shared their disbelief online, with clips of Lesnar's attacks going viral within minutes. Tweets and posts speculated about potential feuds, alliances, and shocking confrontations in the coming weeks. WWE analysts highlighted that such a sudden and intense return could set the stage for months of dramatic storylines, cross-promotional appearances, and even unexpected betrayals. Social media engagement skyrocketed as audiences debated which superstar had the courage, skill, and strategy to face Lesnar head-on. Each new clip uploaded added fuel to the frenzy, driving further engagement and anticipation. Amidst the chaos, one thing became crystal clear. Brock Lesnar had re-established himself as the apex predator of WWE. His presence alone was enough to disrupt the balance of the roster, create suspense for future shows, and generate immense hype for upcoming events. Every superstar, commentator, and fan understood that his return was more than just a momentary spectacle, it was a statement. A brutal, shocking, unforgettable statement. As the night progressed, it became evident that the WWE Universe was now on high alert, with every event, match, and promo potentially influenced by the ominous shadow of the Beast's unprecedented return. As the dust settled in the arena and backstage, one truth was undeniable. Brock Lesnar had returned in a way that would echo throughout WWE history. The chaos he unleashed wasn't just physical, it was psychological, affecting every superstar, every official, and every fan watching around the world. Wrestlers were left to contemplate their next move, realizing that facing the Beast would require not just strength, but courage, strategy, and nerves of steel. For the first time in weeks, the WWE locker room was on edge as uncertainty reigned supreme. Who could stop him? Could anyone? The tension was palpable. Social media erupted immediately following the event, with fans sharing clips, reactions, and hot takes from their living rooms. Tweets comparing the sheer dominance of Brock Lesnar to past legends flooded feeds, while Reddit threads debated who could possibly challenge him in the coming weeks. The WWE Universe was divided. Some celebrated the shocking return, while others expressed concern for the safety of the superstars who might step into the ring next. Every fan knew that the events tonight had set the stage for unpredictable storylines and thrilling confrontations in the weeks to come. Meanwhile, the arena remained a spectacle of stunned reactions and lingering energy. Fans were chanting, some still in awe, some in disbelief, capturing the historic moment on their phones, knowing they had witnessed something unforgettable. Commentary teams continued to analyze each move, replaying Lesnar's attacks and highlighting his strategic dominance. Backstage, WWE officials were convening emergency meetings, planning how to manage his return narrative and preparing for potential rematches, confrontations, and shocking reveals. The WWE Universe was now fully aware. This wasn't just an event, it was a statement. Brock Lesnar had returned to reclaim his position at the top, and no one could ignore him. The implications for the roster were immediate. Rivalries that had been simmering for months suddenly took on new intensity, as every top-tier superstar considered whether they had what it took to face the beast. Alliances were forming, rivalries reigniting, and unexpected opportunities emerging for underdogs who might challenge him in the future. Every segment, every promo, and every match could now be influenced by the shadow of Lesnar's violent re-entry. WWE fans, analysts, and commentators alike recognized the potential for some of the most electrifying weeks in recent memory as storylines unfolded with suspense, drama, and adrenaline-pumping action. As we wrap up this incredible night, one thing is certain: Brock Lesnar is back, and the WWE Universe will never be the same. If you want to stay up to date on every shocking return, backstage revelation, and breaking news from WWE, make sure to like this video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for all the latest updates. Which superstar do you think will step up to challenge the beast? Let us know below. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a moment of WWE history in the making. The story has only begun, and the chaos has just started, so stay tuned, WWE fans, because the action is far from over.